Good evening. Thanks for joining me tonight or one day in the future if you're catching the replay. Thanks for taking the time to learn about cleansing. My name is Yvonne Kuchta and I am a platinum leader in Spruce Grove, Alberta. And I did the cleansing trio from Young Living 2 years ago. And it was amazing. And I kind of said to myself, I need to remember to do this every fall. And I skipped last year and there was no way I was going to miss it this year. And people started to ask me questions. So I said, I'll share my story with you. First of all, if you are, finding this randomly on the internet and wondering what the heck it's all about, I'm just going to give you a little bit of context. And the context is 4 years ago, actually yesterday, I was introduced to a company called Young Living through their essential oils. So Young Living is known for their essential oils. And so 4 years ago, I bought essential oils to support the health of our family and basically started out with 11 essential oils that replaced things in my medicine cabinet. And I have 2 little kids and it became the way that we sort of supported ourselves with whatever came up in our family, whether that was digestive stuff or headache stuff or cold and flu stuff. That was our first line of defense before we went and grabbed, drugs off the counter. And that was an amazing experience because we learned about how plants heal. So that was kind of the first step of it all. And then after I got into the oils, I realized that lots of the stuff we were putting in our body, some of it knowingly wasn't good for us and some of it unknowingly. So after I switched out many products to oils, then the next thing I started to clean up was the cleaners in my home. So I started to look at what was in the ingredients of the cleaners I was using that my kids were licking off their cutlery and the floors, their bare feet were absorbing the bleaches and the stuff like that. And I did an overhaul, not all at once, but one room at a time. I started with the kitchen and changed to natural cleaners. And Young Living had amazing products that I researched and made sure that were safe for our family. And so one room at a time, the kitchen and the laundry room and the bathroom, I replaced the products that we had with natural products from Young Living. And today I meet a lot of people who that's what they do. They start out with the oils and then they clean up their home. And then lastly, funny it's enough that it's lastly they start to look at cleaning up their body. And that's what it was for me too. So I had a whole bunch of oils that we were using to support our family emotionally and physically. And then I had cleaned up the products that we were using to clean our home. And then I decided I better clean up the inside of my body. And that's probably where I noticed some of the most profound changes to my health. So that's why I'm sharing this. Cleansing, you can do a cleanse any time of year. Fall, I feel like really suits with the natural rhythms of nature. And so I think fall is a great time. And so that's why I'm starting mine tonight with you here live on Facebook. Imagine that, right? Okay, so why the gut? We hear about this all the time, that our immune system resides in the gut. And this fall, when we're, exposed to so many germs, my kids just started school. And so we're exposed to all this. We want a really strong immune system. I've been through a time in my life with a low immune system where somebody sick walked by me, I was out. So I'm all about boosting up the immune system. Second reason to have a fall cleanse is many people want to start like fitness regimes or lose some weight in the fall. And this is a great kickstart to that because guess what? This is crazy, but most people carry around about 7 pounds of waste that's just in their digestive tract that isn't moving along. So, right there is pretty incredible. If we can get that 7 pounds moving, that's significant. Our genes are probably going to fit better. And lastly, if you're already using essential oils, and post below if you are, I'd love to hear, where you are in your journey or what you're using from Young Living already. If you're using essential oils, you're going to get more out of them. You want to know why? It's because the oils are working to support our body and clean it and get rid of junk. And if we have so much crap in us, they're working really hard. And if we get that cleaned out, we're just going to feel the effects of the oils so much more. So that's really cool too, because I love my essential oils. So our modern diet is super taxing on our gut, right? There's additives, there's preservatives, sugar. The stuff that we're going to talk about that lines our colon tonight is often from the flours, the white flours, and dairy products are often what creates that coated lining on our colon, so we can't absorb stuff. So that's what we're going to work on moving out. Now, what I'm going to talk about tonight is not highly recommended if you're pregnant. Cleansing at all is probably not great if you're pregnant. And secondly, there's no food. We're not going to talk about food restrictions or what you can and can't eat. Of course, you know, our bodies are healthier the cleaner that we eat. And so, you know, I encourage you, if you feel like embracing a cleaner diet through this cleanse, that's probably going to support you more. And I think you'll also find, what I find as I make steps, healthier choices, that my body just starts to crave healthier things naturally. So you might notice that. Sometimes I think, you know, we are eating junk because our body is wanting something, right? Like, I know for me, if I'm working out lots and I'm not getting enough salt, then I'm starting eating chips at night because I want salt. But if I'm eating healthy, then I don't have these kind of cravings. And you can look up on the internet, you know, if you're craving certain things, what you might be deficient in. But anyways, when we clean out this colon and we start to be able to absorb the nutrients from our food better, that might cut down a bit on your cravings. So you might notice that. Okay, you use the oils and the household cleaners and the oral care products. Awesome. So now we're just going to go inside, Kim. Thanks for sharing. All right, so here's the principle of everything we're going to cover tonight, which is digestion should be a meal in, a meal out. Okay, I'm a farmer. That's how animals work. Why is this important? Because if we're mealing in, food's coming in and not going out, what happens to it? It just sits in our gut and it's waste. It's got stuff that the body's trying to eliminate, right? And that waste just starts to reabsorb, and our other organs get taxed because of that, right? So ideally, the body flow should be meal in, meal out. And that means probably for most people, 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. Now, I don't know how much sharing you guys want to do on this live, but most people, when I sit down with them and I have the conversation, and this is how it goes, and I go, how are your bowel movements? And they go, oh, great. And I go, oh yeah? How many do you have a day? And they're like, oh, well, most days 1. And I go, that's not great. Like, we've been somehow misled. So great is 3 bowel movements a day. And so that's what we're going to sort of work together with this cleanse. Okay, so the outcome that we are looking for is to get ourselves feeling better, get our bowels moving, and ultimately, one of the things that I had never heard of before, but I learned about when I did this cleanse, whoops, I don't know what's stuck in my book there. I did this cleanse for the first time, like I said, 2 years ago, following the guidelines in this book here. You can find that on Amazon. And what I learned was that if you do a really thorough colon cleanse, especially if you have a lot of gunk, what you may end up passing is the mucus that lines the coating of your colon. And that might look like a sort of a ring of sausage, like black, strung together tube, depending on how blocked your colon is. And that is considered passing the mucus lining of your bowels. So some of you will experience that as you do this, and I want to hear about that. Some of you, like what I did, was I just had pieces of that come out, and I don't know, if my colon didn't have that much in it, or that's just how my body broke it down, that it came out in pieces. But just so you know, that's part of the experience here that we're going to have, is we're going to get rid of the junk, and I'm going to post some pictures of what that looks like, so get ready for that. Okay, so there's 3 products that we need to do this cleanse. And so I'm going to go through those 3 products and how you use them. And I'm also going to talk about some oils that I think, could be beneficial for you through the cleanse, and just oils that are beneficial in general for digestion. So the first product that we're going to look at is Comfortone. So this is Comfortone here, and it is a blend of herbs and oils. And what it does really is helps us get the rhythmic action happening to push out our bowel movements. And so we're going to start with that first, because before we start cleaning anything, we need to get ourselves moving those bowel movements. Otherwise, we're going to be cleaning, but that stuff's just going to sit in us. So how we start out with the Comfort Tone is you're going to start out taking 1 in the morning, okay? Second day, you're going to take 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And then you're going to go to the third day, 2 in the morning, 1 at night, or 2 in the morning, 2 at night. Ultimately, you want to be working up gently, unless you decide you want to be super aggressive, which is totally your decision, but I worked up gently to be having 2 to 3 bowel movements a day using Comfort Tone. Some of you, maybe you're already having 2 bowel movements a day, and that's great. And so you might not need that much Comfort Tone. Now, you also might be on the other end of the spectrum where you're having a bowel movement every 3rd day. It might take you more Comfort Tone. So, you know, everybody across the board, you might need 1 Comfort Tone morning and night, and you might need up to 5 Comfort Tones morning and night to get those bowels passing, okay? So that's the Comfort Tone. So you're gonna work your way up, and the other benefit of starting slowly is you're really gonna figure out what it is your body needs. Because if you're like, screw it, I'm just gonna do this and hit it hard, and I'm gonna pound 3 tonight and 3 tomorrow morning, and then, you know, you have no idea, like maybe you're crapping yourself 5 times a day. you didn't even know if you needed that, right? So I wanna bring you back to, it's okay to do this slowly and come to learn what your body needs, okay? There's real value in getting to intimately know your body, okay? Because then you can be aware if something, you know, is out of track, or let's say, like, forget the cleanse for a minute. Let's say when you travel, you know you don't have good bowel movements, and that kind of makes you grumpy or whatever. Take Comfort Tone with you, and you know that if you have a Comfort Tone every morning, it gets you going. Good. So that's the beauty of knowing your body, is you know how to support it. Okay? We're trying to get to know ourselves so that we can do what we need to do to be healthy and well and feel good, right? Okay. So Comfort Tone, that's how you're going to do it. You're going to start out 1 in the morning and then 1 morning and night, and you're going to build up to you're having 2 to 3 bowel movements a day, okay? Long term, if you have bad bowels, this product is not meant to be used like for the rest of your life to have bowel movements. This is a cleanse. This is not, I don't have good bowel movements, I'm just going to take Comfort Tone for the rest of your life. No, we'd want to get to some underlying things there if that's the case. Okay, the next product is Essential Zymes. It's out of stock right now. I've got Essential Zymes 4 here. They're not the same, but in light of Essential Zymes being out of stock, I'm going to use Essential Zymes 4 to get myself going. And so what Essential Zymes are all about is helping the body break down, like enzymes, right? Helping the body break down the food that we're eating. And why is this important is that if we're not breaking down the food that we're eating, we can't get the nutrients from it in the first place. One thing that I've learned a lot about, and my mom and dad are huge advocates of this, is that as you age, your enzymes naturally decrease. And that's why sometimes you meet old people who are like, oh, I don't eat much meat because, you know, my body can't break it down. They don't have the same enzymes to break it down, right? So using Essential Zymes is a great option. So where does this fit in the cleanse? You take an Essential Zyme between each meal. Okay, that's going to help get your food being broken down, because we've got the action going to get our bowel movements happening. Now we want our food to start to really get digested well. And I will give you another tip. I work with a health coach, Crystal Young, for the last year, and that's been amazing. But this is not about the cleanse so much, but about digestion. A couple things that I've worked on a lot with her, and one of them is the 20-minute meal, meaning that our body can really do a great job of digestion when our meal takes 20 minutes to eat, okay? That doesn't mean you eat more to fill the 20 minutes. It means that you chew enough and set your fork down between bites and enjoy good company so that your eating time, your meal time, lasts 20 minutes. Now, when I first heard this, and I think she told me that the average person is like 7 or 8 minutes. So the first time I heard this, I set the timer to see what would happen, and our family was like 10 minutes, okay? We were 10 minutes supper time. Like, this was our special family supper time with 2 toddlers. We were 10 minutes, we were done, from like the food on the there to like, okay, we're put the dishes in the dishwasher. Over time, I don't do this all the time, but I'll be like, hey guys, let's remember our 20-minute meal, and I'll set the timer. And we've definitely, I would say, like on average, even without awareness, we're more like around 13. And if we have the timer, we're more like around 15. But keep that in mind, okay? It's gonna help your digestion in general. So essential zymes, one thing about them is if you are noticing skin problems related to digestion, if it's already coming out to your skin, then that means, so as first, if your digestion is struggling, it's going to tax the organs, the other organs around, like the liver and stuff like that. And then if it still can't get out of your body, it's going to come out of your skin. Okay, so lots of people take essential zymes to support their skin, but if it's already coming out of your skin, you got to get working back on the digestion. So lots of skin stuff is related to digestion, and this cleanse will help that. Okay, what else? The caplets, the essential zyme caplets, that's a really good point. I made a few notes here so I didn't forget. Half of it is immediate release and half of it is delayed release. And that's really important because your guts have different sections, right? So that you're going to get that digestive support throughout the whole system. Okay, so you're taking your essential zymes between your meals, which for me, what I do is I take one before breakfast, one between breakfast and lunch, and one before supper. You're taking your comfort tone enough to be having 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. And then we bring in the ICP. Okay, so ICP, first I'm going to tell you what you do with it, and then I'm going to tell you why you do it. So ICP is a powder, okay? Powder, just like that. And so same thing, like you started slowly with your comfort tone, you figured out what is the right rhythm for your body, you've got yourself consistently having these bowel movements. So ICP is the fiber that is going to clean out the colon. Okay, so you're having your bowel movements. Now, what is going to clean it though? That's where the ICP comes in. Ideally, what we're looking for is 3 floating, well-formed stools in the toilet. Okay, you're taking these 3 products every day, and you're working, the fiber is getting into your colon and being like the scrub brush to clean it out, okay? So ICP is a blend of fibers that help bulk up the stool, and you're gonna see what that looks like in here in a minute. You mix it in water or juice or oatmeal, and when you mix it, you're gonna wanna drink it pretty quickly because it starts to thicken, ultimately. Now, I'm talking and doing this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. So what you're gonna do when you're having those bowel movements is you're gonna start with just a half of a spoon of your ICP. You're gonna mix it in some water or juice, whatever you'd like. And you're gonna do this in the morning, and then you're gonna drink it. And so that's no big deal. I have a huge glass here. I am not gonna be able to drink this and share with you guys, but this is what it looks like. I normally just mix up a smaller glass, but I had a big glass here. I don't think it tastes bad. It's a little bit like licorice. And in fact, that's what it has in it. It has lots of great oils. Fennel, anise, tarragon, ginger, lemongrass, and rosemary are just some of the oils that are in it. Okay, so you drink your ICP. So you start with half a teaspoon in the morning, you then go half a teaspoon at night, and you work yourself up till you're having your good 3 formed bowel movements a day. And generally that's going to look like around a tablespoon morning and night. That's what Gary Young says, you know, is most people what they need in terms of fiber. Now, if you're eating, if you eat a lot of meat, you are going to need more of that to create that. If you have a low protein diet, you're going to need less, okay? So something to keep in mind. What else do I want to share with you? Okay, we know that eating high fiber foods helps support our health and our blood sugar levels. So you may notice as well, which I did when we did this cleanse, that taking the ICP really cut back my cravings because it helped regulate my blood sugar levels. So I'm a blood sugar, kind of like my daughter. I get kind of grouchy. I like to eat right at 11 o'clock and at 5:30. And if I don't, then I'm getting a little bit pacing the house, okay? Tastes grainy and like a bit of black licorice. Does the ICP have a taste at all in the water? Yeah, it does have a bit of a taste for sure. And that's awesome. There's people who've done this cleanse. So yeah, ask questions and post away. Super cool. Okay. The really important thing here, guys, as you're doing this cleanse is that you drink a lot of water. It is critical. First of all, it's critical without the cleanse, okay? I think drinking water, which has been sort of a focus of mine for the last month, has, I don't want to say doubled like my performance and brain power, but I bet it's increased it by like 30% just by being super intentional about drinking water, which for me looks like, this is like the glasses in our house. For me, it looks like drinking 10 of these glasses a day. But I learned something cool and I was so excited I have to share it with you. This is a bottle of Ningxia, okay? 5 bottles of Ningxia, like filled with water, equal 1 gallon. A recommendation when you're doing this cleanse or any cleanse, or if you're just really trying to get your body flushed with water, is to drink 1 gallon a day. That's 5 of these, okay? When I think about the kind of water that consumption that I'm having right now with an effort to drink more, I'm probably more like 3 or 4. But you have no problem with drinking water. That's awesome. Anyways, and these bottles are so pretty. So this is a great way. I'm doing this now. Like I just found out about this today. Getting ready to share this with you guys. But I love this. Like I'm at my desk right now to have this bottle here to just pour it. It's pretty. You know, I'm not a cold water girl. So I like water on the counter. It's there tomorrow morning when I come into my office. So I thought that was super cool. Had to share that with you. Okay, so that's the gist of it. Some people will notice themselves feeling significantly better, you know, within 3 weeks, a month. Most people, it's 1 to 2 months, and some people do the cleanse much longer. So Rob, who's my husband, he's just super consistent, guys. And I think he did it for like 3 months. And I get bored sooner than that, and I felt really good, and I noticed how much better I felt. I didn't last that long. I can't remember. I think I was like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So, you know, everyone's a little different with that. Once you get into the routine, you just really notice it. And so I feel like when we're motivated by great results that you keep on going, right? Like anything that's important to you. Okay, once your month is up, and even during, but for sure once your month is up, it's really important to be giving your body great nutrients, because now your colon is cleansed, you can absorb all this good stuff. So that's when you want to make sure that you're drinking your Ningxia, taking your multigreens, your master supplements, master formula supplements. Your body is going to be ready to take in that good stuff and help you be strong and healthy. The other thing I wanted to share was some oils. If you are still having problems getting your 3 bowel movements a day, peppermint, you can just rub a little bit on your belly, is fantastic, okay? And I want to give away a bottle of peppermint tonight. So anybody who's on this, who comments below or catches the replay and comments below by tomorrow morning, will say somebody's going to win a bottle of peppermint, because it's such a good oil for digestion. If you don't even do the cleanse, please use peppermint for digestion. Just put a drop of it on your finger. If you get heartburn or any kind of indigestion, rub it on your belly. It's amazing. Digize, another great oil to help with digestion. I'm sure many of you, because it comes in the kit, have felt the effects of Digize. It's amazing. Purification is another oil that really can support you. I wrote down what oils are in it. Citronella, lemongrass, and citrus oils. It's really going to help any yeast that is in your body. And most of us have a lot of yeast. And in fact, I don't know, I can't see your tongue tonight, but I can stick out mine. If you go in the mirror and stick out your tongue, if there's some white on there, you got yeast going on, okay? Yeast in the digestive tract. And you might want to look at purification. You might want to look at lemongrass. You might want to look at Ocotea. Look that stuff up, guys, in your reference guides. In this wicked reference guide, look that up. If you can get your yeast under control in your body, it's going to be a big help. Lastly, from an emotional perspective, as we're releasing, there's some oils that can really support you. One, of course, is release. Another, I don't know where I've got it. I've got so many oils here on the table. Another is transformation, because ultimately that's what we're in the process of, right? And that's the nature of fall. There's so much transformation going on. And the feelings kit, if you have the feelings kit, you might be well drawn to some emotional oils in there to support you, you know, through that sort of change. Last one I wanted to mention is Melrose oil. If you are, you know, at all thinking about ulcers, or if that's kind of on your radar, research that oil, look into it. It's a good one to relate to digestion. Okay, so I'm going to start this journey tonight. I'm going to drink my ICP and then get started on my comfort tone tomorrow morning. I'm going to post some graphics to help you guys. And this video will be here live. And there's also a group that we're going to create that is created. If you're not part of it and you want to be part of it, post below. We'll get you added. And it's going to run until the end of October. People can share their experiences. Like, hey, how many comfort tones are you guys taking? Or how's the cleanse going? I think there's a real great value where we can share. And it's kind of a topic that we might not want to share with everybody. So this way it'll be people who are just doing the cleanse. Drink your water, like so critical, okay? Really, really drink your water through this cleanse, and you're gonna just see how even the mental clarity comes with it, and how that's what your body's gonna need to flush this out. It just is gonna need that critically to flush it out. Okay, I think I've covered everything. If you have questions, post below. If this was helpful, share it, like it. And if you have questions about other things that Young Living does, shoot me a note and we'll kick it around. I love digging in and learning and then being able to share it. Yeah, you can totally take other vitamins while you're on it. You can take all your other supplements. I looked that up specifically. If you want greater detail, this book is fantastic. It then goes on to doing parasite cleanse, which is often after you do a colon cleanse, because there's no sense cleansing your parasite if it's just parasites, if it's just going to get clogged up in your colon. So you get your colon cleanse and you can do parasite cleanses. And it's a great place if you want more information. And yeah, there'll be more information posted in the group. I don't want to rattle on too much tonight, so I hope you guys all have a good night and had a good day, and we'll see you soon.